welcome to second part of this tutorial where I am showing you how to implement this layout by using React Native Map in our React Native project. So in our first tutorial I have already shown you how to install React Native Map and how we can use Google Map, and in our Google Map how we can implement this custom map marker. Along with that, how we can add a custom callout. Also I have shown you how to implement dark mode in our map, and in this tutorial I will show you how to implement this layout in our map. So this search bar, these chip items and these bottom items along with these animations. So if you haven't seen my first tutorial yet, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and see that tutorial. It will be helpful to you to follow along with me in this tutorial. Also, let me tell you that this is a part of a tutorial series in which I am showing you how to implement different screens of an React Native app. As you can see, we have a bottom tab navigator, right? Also we have a side drawer, we have custom drawn items, and we can navigate between different screens and all. So all of these things I have already shown you in a tutorial series where I have shown you different parts of a React navigation version 5. So if you are interested in that, you can definitely check that playlist. I will link that in the description below, or you can check that out from the eye icon. And now I am showing you how to implement these parts. Right now I am doing this explore screen, and later I will do this profile tab along with the notification and this home. So it will be mostly in UI part, and I will show you how to integrate third-party packages in our React Native project. So it will mainly focus into that. I will not link this to any server right now, but in future I may do that, but currently I don't have any plan regarding that. So if you are interested in this kind of tutorials, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a tutorial on this channel. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so in our previous tutorial I have shown you how to implement this Google Map and this custom map marker and also this custom callout, right? So this is our code. That is what we have done previously. Now I have made some changes in our project. So this is our main tab screen, and here for explore tab component I am showing map test screen. So previously whatever I have done, now I have moved those codes into this map test screen.js file. Now I have made some changes to my explore screen.js file. Here you can see that I have imported these APIs from React Native, and some of them are used currently and some of them I will use in later parts when we will implement the actual app screen, which I have just shown you. So we have made these changes. We have imported MapView from React Native Maps, obviously for the maps, and we have imported these items from React Native vector icons. So make sure you import all those icons from React Native vector icons in your project. Otherwise these icons won't work for your project. Then I have made mapdata.js file in my model directory, and in my components directory I have created starrating.js file, and I have imported those components from those files. Let me show you what I have created in my map data. In my map data I have created this images constant, and here I have provided some images which we will use for our card elements, which we will present at the bottom of this screen. And we have created some markers as well, and in markers we have coordinates, we have title, description and the images. So these are the images, and we have the rating and review for those items. So this is how I have created all these things. And then we have map styles. So this is our map dot style, and this is our map standard style, which I have already shown you in my previous tutorial. So I have just make them separated in a separate file so that our main file will be clear, and here we will mainly focus on to our main components, right? So let me change this to explore screen. Now save it. Now see, these are the components I have added. So here I have initial map state. Here I have the markers which we are exporting from this map data. Here is the markers. Then we have the categories which we will display at the bottom of the search bar as chip items. Now after this category we have the region. So I have already added these values. These are the latitude longitude value I have added over here already, and then I have created a state and I have initialized that state with our initial map state, which contains these details, right? Then I will come to here in later parts. Then we are actually returning our component. So we have the view and we have the map view, and here I have initialized the region, I have provided the style, and I have provided this provider Google because I want to use the Google map in iOS. And then we have the custom map style, and I will change this based upon our preferences. Then for each map marker we are returning these markers, so it is creating every map marker here. And then for the view of this marker wrap and the images, I have used this animated view, animated images, because I will animate all these things in later parts of this tutorial. Then we have some styles, so you can pause the screens and take note of these codes. Okay, and also I will upload these codes to my GitHub, so you can get those codes from that repo. I will link that in the description below. So now start creating our layout. So now I will create the search bar here, and then I will create the category items. So for that, after this map view, we need to create the search bar. So for that, I will create a view, and for the style of this view, I will provide styles dot this search box. And now within this view, I will use text input. For this placeholder, I will provide this text. For placeholder text color, I will provide black color. Then for auto capitalize, I will provide none. And then for the style of it, I will provide flex 1, padding 0. Now save this. Now after saving it, we can see we have a search bar present over here. Now I will display a search icon in this place. So for that, here I will add the icon. So I will use icon, and the icon will be iOS search, and size of it will be 20. Now we can see a search bar present over here. Now beneath this search bar we will display the categories which we have present over here. So these are category items, so we will present those items as in cheap items, and we will scroll through those items. So after this view, I will add a scroll view because we want to scroll through those items horizontally, so it will be a scroll view. And as I have mentioned, it will be horizontal, so I have added this horizontal. If it will scroll vertically, then we will add vertical over here. Then I will use scroll event throttle, and I will provide a value of 1, and this scroll event throttle will define how often our scroll event will be fired. And if we will provide a lesser value over here, then it will fire the event more often, and it will provide a much more accuracy. Then I will add horizontal scroll indicator, and I will set this to false because I don't want to display a scroll indicator. For the height of it, I will provide 50, and for the style of it, I will provide styles dot this chip scroll view. Now within this scroll view, I want to display the chip items, and we have already present those categories here, so we will loop through each items. For that, I will create a map function for the categories, and for each item we will render a touchable opacity, and within this touchable opacity we will have a text, and those text will contain the category name, and before those text we will have the icon. So we have already created these icons here, and we have already imported the respective icons for our category, right? So we are displaying those here. And now for this touchable opacity style, we will provide styles dot chips item, right? and also we need to provide unique key for each items. So now save this. Now after saving this, we can see that our chip items are present in this section, right? And we can scroll through those items. So it's working properly, but at the end of this scroll view we can see that our last item is positioned at the extreme right corner. I don't want that. I want to provide a proper gap over here like this. So I will align this with this search bar. So for that I need to provide content inset in this scroll view. So here we will provide top, left, bottom, right values. As we have this left aligned properly, so we don't need to provide any values over here. It has been taken care from this style, but for the right hand side we want to provide 20 pixel gap. So now save this. Now after saving this, let's see. Okay, it's having some issue. Now let's refresh this once. Now let's see. Our scroll view is working properly and it has been aligned perfectly as I wanted, right? Now this content inset will only work for iOS. So this is for iOS only. It will not work on Android. Now let's see this on our Android device. So for that I am closing this Metro Bundler UI and run this for Android. So this is how our app is looking on Android right now, and if we scroll through these items then we can see that it's not aligned properly. So this content inset is not working for Android. We need to do something for Android. So to provide the proper alignment for the Android app, we need to provide content container style for our scroll view, and here we will provide padding right, and we will check for the platform OS. If it is Android, then we will add 20 pixel, otherwise we will add 0. Now save this. Now we can see it has been updated properly for Android as well. So that's how we have designed our category chip items properly for both the platform. Now we need to create card items over here. So for that we need to create another scroll view. So I will create this after this scroll view. And as I will animate this scroll view later, when we will click on this marker, that time that respective card element will be present on our screen automatically. So for that I will use animated scroll view. So we need to add this animated over here as well. And now for the scroll view we will add some configuration as we have added over here. So it will be horizontal, and for a scroll event throttle I will use 1 and I will not use any scroll indicator. So I will copy those things and paste it here. Now for the style of it I will use styles scroll view. Now I will create the card elements. So for that I will map through each marker element, and for each marker I will return this card view, and for each card I will display an image, and the image source will be marker image. Within this map data we have this image for each markers, right? And for the style of it I will use card image style, and resize mode will be cover. And then after this image we will add another view which will contain the text contents. For the style of it I will provide text content style, and then we will provide a title and the description. So it will be marker title. So number of lines will be 1, and for the style of it I will use card title. Similar thing I will use for the description, so it will be description, and for the style of it I will use card description. So now save it once. So here we can see our cards present and we can scroll through all those items, right? Now along with this title and the description, I want to display a star rating, beside that the review numbers, and then a order now button. So for that, first I will use a star rating beneath this title. For that star rating, I have already created this star rating.js file. Here I can provide the props, rating props and the review props, and based upon our props, our star rating will be generated. So here I will use star rating. For the ratings prop, I will use marker rating, which is coming from here. Also I will use review prop, so this reviews prop, and it will be marker reviews. So now save it. So after saving it, we can see that our star rating has been generated, right? Now after this description, I will add a button. So for that I will create a new view, and for this view style I will use style button, and here I will use touchable opacity, and for the text of it I will use order now. For the style of it I will provide styles sign in, and for its color I will use this color. So here I can see the button text, but I want to provide a border as well for this button. So for this touchable opacity, I will add a style. For on press, right now I am passing an empty function. For the style of it, I will use text sign, and for the border color, I will use this color, and for the border width, I will use 1 pixel. Okay, this text sign will be here, and here it will be signing. Now after saving it, we can see our button is looking perfect. So our card has been designed properly, but I want to change the scroll experience little bit. When we will scroll through different card items, that time I want to snap through each item, so it will be better user experience. Let me show you. So for that I need to use paging enabled and snap to interval, and for this snap to interval I will use card width plus 20 pixel, and card width is coming from this variable. I have already created this card width, which is the 80% of the width of our screen, and then snap to alignment will be center. Now let's save it. After saving it, let's check it. Now you can see whenever I scroll through each item, that time we are automatically snapping through each item, right? So that's how it's working. And now I want to center this item like this. Currently it's not doing that, so I will do those things. And also we need to provide content inset as we have used in this scroll view, right? So for that I will use content inset, and it will be applicable for iOS only. So top will be 0, left will be spacing for card inset. Also I have created this as well previously. Then for the bottom of it I will use 0, and for right I will use spacing for card inset. Now for the Android we need to use content container style, and here I will use padding horizontal, and for Android we will use spacing for card inset, otherwise we will use 0. Now save it. Now after saving it, we can see that it has been positioned properly as I wanted, and at the beginning of the scroll view it has left some spacing. Also at the end it has left some spacing, right? So now it's a better user experience. Right. Now we need to add the animations here. So whenever we are scrolling through each item, that time that map marker will be highlighted. So it will be little bit bigger than rest of the map markers. Now we will implement those things. And for that we need to add the animations. So we need to add on scroll, and here for animated event we will use native animation. So for that we will set this use native driver to true, and for the native event I will provide the content offset, and for x-axis I will provide this map animation. Now let's create this map animation animated variable. So it will be new animated, and value of it will be 0 by default. Also I need to create another constant for map index, and initially it will be 0 as well. Now whenever our DOM changes, that time we want to render something. So for that I will use this use effect hook, and I want to render this each time our DOM changes. So that's why I haven't provided an empty array over here. Now I need to add a listener for the map animation. Now this add listener will get a value, and from this value we will figure out the index of the current item. So here I have pasted some code to get the index value, and then we will animate our map to that position. So for that I'm creating a function called region timeout, and here I use this set timeout, and within this set timeout function we will check if our index matches with our map index or not. If it is not matching with our map index, then we will do the animation. Also we will update our map index with index value. Then we will get the coordinate from our markers for that index, and then we will animate to that region. And now for that we need to use this useRef constant. So here for this map view we have passed this map reference, and this map reference has been created by this useRef hook. So by using this useRef we will get the current item by this current property, and then we can use animate to region to provide an animation to the map. And for that animation I have provided this 350 millisecond time. And now we need to provide the region. So the coordinate for latitude delta, I need to provide the latitude delta. It can be fetched from the state region latitude delta, which we have in our state, right? Similarly for longitude delta, now we need to call this and clear this timer as well. So within this clear timeout I have called this region timeout function. Now save it. Now let's see, I'm scrolling through next item. So now you can see our map is animating to that position automatically whenever we are scrolling through each item, right? Now we need to provide a proper visual cue to the user, so that user get to know which marker is being selected for this item. So we will provide an animation to respective map marker. So for that I will create a interpolation constant where I will provide the animation values. So for each marker we will create input range, and for the input range I paste some code. Now we need to create the actual animation, and this animation will be scale animation. We will change the scaling of each marker. So for that I use this map animation interpolate, and for the input range I will use this input range. For output range I will use these values, so it will start from 1 and then it will scale to 1.5 times of its width, and then end of the animation it will again be the 1 times of its actual width and height. Okay, and now we need to return it. Now we need to use this to our map marker. So here is our map marker. Before that I will update the style of our map marker. It will be scale style, and we will transform scale for that item. So in this interpolations we will pass this index for the current item, and then we will fetch the scale. Now we need to use this scale style to our marker style. So here I have added this. Now save it. Now after saving it we can see this map marker automatically changed its scaling. Now let's scroll through different items. So it's working perfectly, right? And whenever we are scrolling, that time we can see the actual animation, right? So that's how it's working. So we are almost completed with this tutorial. Now we need to do one last thing, which is whenever we click any map marker, that time we need to scroll through that card item. And here we have an error, can't find the variable on marker press. I have already added this on marker press in on press, and I haven't created this function yet. So now I need to create that. So here I have created it. Now after saving it, the error is gone. Now on press we will get event data. So it will be map event data, and we can get the marker ID from it. Map event data dot target inst dot return dot key. It will return the ID of this marker. It will return the ID of the marker. Now we can use this marker ID to position our card element properly. So now I have pasted some code here which determines the x-axis value of these card elements. So we have fetched the x value based upon this marker ID, and for the iOS we need to update the x value with the card insert value. Now we need to scroll to that card item after clicking on this marker. So for that I have to use this useRef function. So I have created this scroll view constant. Now we need to use this in this scroll view. So here for the reference of it I will use this scroll view, and then here we can get that, and with this scroll view we can get the current item by this current prop, and then we will scroll to that position. So x value will be the x which we have determined here, and for y it will change nothing because it's not vertically scrolling, right? And it will be animated true. Now save this. Now let's check it once. Now if we scroll through each item, then our map is animating as previously along with this map marker. Now if we click on any marker, that time we are having an error, can't find variable marker ID. Okay, we have made a mistake over here. It will be marker ID with capital D. Now save it. Now let's check if we click any marker, that time we are also getting another error. Now reload this once. Let's see. So our animation is working properly, right? And now we have an warning calling get node on the ref of an animated component is no longer necessary. So let's see. Remove this and reload this once. Now it's working perfectly. So get node is not necessary currently. Okay, so it's fine. If it is not fine, then you can also use the get node over here. Previously when I have made this, that time get node was necessary to make this work, but currently it's showing that it's not necessary, so you can get rid of that. Otherwise, if it's having any error, then you can use this get node. Now let's check this for iOS as well. Close this Metro Bundler UI process and run it for iOS. So here is the iOS one. Now let's scroll through the item. So our snap to animation is working properly. Right, now click on any map marker. So it's working, and similarly it's showing that get node warning, so get rid of this. Now it will work properly. So that's it guys, that's the tutorial. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and let me know by commenting down below. And if you have any kind of suggestion for me, then also let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.